All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning, I am Saira Mujtaba and with me is V. Ravi Kumar. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to interact with healthcare workers and beneficiaries of COVID vaccination program in Himachal Pradesh at 11 a.m. today. President Ramnath Kovind to present President's Colour to Indian Naval Aviation at Daburi in Goa today. Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Thakur says central government transferred 1.5 lakh crore rupees directly into bank accounts of farmers under Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi scheme. Central team to visit Bihar today to assess damages caused by the recent floods in the state. Enforcement Directorate issues lookout notice against former Maharashtra Home Minister Anil Deshmukh in money laundering case. Kerala put on high alert after death of a 12-year-old boy due to Nipah virus infection in Kozhikode. Avni Lekra leads Indian contingent at closing ceremony of Tokyo Paralympics. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to host Paralympians on their return to India. In cricket, fourth test between India and England evenly poised at Oval in London. And India's head coach Ravi Shastri tests positive for COVID, isolated with 3 support staff. As the nationwide free COVID-19 vaccination campaign at government facilities for those above 18 years is going on, we advise our young listeners to get vaccinated and also help others get vaccinated. We also advise our listeners not to lower their guard as COVID-19 remains a threat to our health. Please stay at home unless it is essential to go out and continue to follow these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact national helpline numbers 011-2397-8046 and 1075. As our nation celebrates the 75th year of independence, a series of events is being organized by the government as part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. To commemorate the occasion as a Jan Utsav, All India Radio News brings to its listeners a special quiz on India's freedom movement and its glorious history. The quiz is being conducted every Monday and Tuesday in Morning News at 8:30 a.m. since 16th of August and will continue till 15th of August 2022. India Post has joined hands as the logistics partner with All India Radio News for the Amrit Mahotsav quiz. And now, coming to our 7th question of the Amrit Mahotsav quiz. Which freedom fighter gave the call, Dilli Chalo? Repeat, which freedom fighter gave the call, Dilli Chalo? Listeners can send in their responses to the question over WhatsApp on 8826 546262. I repeat the number, 8826 546262. Or through email on amritmahotsavquiz@gmail.com. Repeat, amritmahotsavquiz@gmail.com. One lucky participant will be selected as a winner and will be announced in tomorrow's Morning News. The winner will be awarded an e-certificate and a token prize.
And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will interact with healthcare workers and beneficiaries of COVID vaccination program in Himachal Pradesh at 11 a.m. today through video conferencing. Chief Minister of Himachal Pradesh Jairam Thakur will be present during the event. Himachal Pradesh has successfully covered its entire eligible population with the first dose of COVID vaccination. The efforts by the state included geographical prioritization to focus on different terrains, initiatives to ensure mass awareness, and door-to-door visits by ASHA workers, among others. The state gave special attention to women, elderly, Divyangjans, industrial workers and daily wagers. It undertook special campaigns like Suraksha Ki Yukti, Corona Se Mukti to attain this milestone. More from our correspondent.
Himachal Pradesh has become the first state to attain 100% target of giving first dose of COVID vaccine to people aged 18 years and above. Besides, the state has also maintained target of zero wastage of vaccine. On this occasion, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will address the people of the state through video conferencing today morning and will also interact with doctors, paramedical staff and other frontline workers for achieving this unique feat. To listen Prime Minister's speech, LED screens have been installed in various parts of the state such as district, subdivision and block development headquarters. Besides other prominent places, adequate sitting arrangements have been made with strict COVID guidelines for people at the venue where the event would be screened. Sanjeev Sundariyal, AIR News, Shimla.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will address the inaugural conclave of Shikshak Parv at 11 a.m. tomorrow through video conferencing. He will also launch multiple key initiatives in the education sector during the event. The Prime Minister will launch Indian Sign Language Dictionary, an audio and text-embedded sign language video for the hearing impaired in conformity with Universal Design of Learning, talking books, which is audio books for the visually impaired, and School Quality Assurance and Assessment Framework of CBSE. Mr. Modi will also launch Nishtha Teachers Training Program for Nipun Bharat and Vidyanjali portal for facilitating education volunteers, donors, and corporate social responsibility contributors for school development. The theme of Shikshak Parv 2021 is Quality and Sustainable Schools, Learnings from Schools in India.
President Ramnath Kovind will present a President's Colour to the Indian Naval Aviation at INS Hansa in Daburi in Goa today. The President's Colour is the highest honour bestowed on a military unit in recognition of its exceptional service to the nation. A special day cover will be released by the Postal Department on the occasion. Mr. Kovind arrived in Goa yesterday on a 3-day visit to the state. Governor P.S. Sridharan Pillai and Chief Minister Pramod Sawant welcomed Mr. Kovind on his arrival at Daburi Airport. Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Thakur has said that senior ministers of Government of India have held not one but 11 rounds of meeting with the farmers' unions to address their issues. Talking to media in Bengaluru, Mr. Thakur said the government is always ready to hold talks with the farmers. He listed out several steps being taken by the central government towards the welfare of the farmers. He said the Narendra Modi government has increased minimum support price or MSP and procured more agricultural produce at MSP and also kept the prices of fertilizers under control. The minister said the central government transferred 1.5 lakh crore rupees directly into the bank accounts of farmers under the Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi scheme.
सरकार तो सदा ही बातचीत के लिए तैयार रहती है। इसके अलावा 1.5 लाख करोड़ रुपया हमने किसान सम्मान निधि के माध्यम से किसानों के खाते में डालने का काम किया है, किसान की मदद की है और कोविड के टाइम पर भी बैंकों के माध्यम से भी किसान को ज्यादा सुविधा मिल सके वो भी किया। एग्रीकल्चर इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर फंड 1 लाख करोड़ रुपए का देश भर में लगाने का काम भी हमारी सरकार कर रही है और इसके अलावा जो मंडियां हैं वो पहले से ज्यादा बनाने का काम मोदी सरकार के समय और उसको ई-नैम की सुविधा से जोड़ने का काम हुआ है।
A central team will visit Bihar today to assess the damage caused by the recent floods in the state. A 6-member team led by Joint Secretary in the Home Ministry R.K. Singh will visit flood-affected districts of the state and submit its report to the Union government. The team will hold discussions with top officials of the state government. Meanwhile, the flood situation continues to be grim in 24 districts including Darbhanga, Muzaffarpur, Samastipur, Katihar, Bhagalpur, Khagaria, East Champaran and West Champaran districts. Over 30 lakh people spread over 2,000 villages are reeling under the impact of the floods. The floods have so far claimed 53 lives in the state. In all, 29 teams of NDRF and SDRF have been pressed into relief and rescue operations. Enforcement Directorate ED has issued a lookout notice against former Home Minister of Maharashtra and NCP leader Anil Deshmukh. The notice was issued in connection with a 100 crore rupees money laundering case that forced him to resign as a minister. The lookout circular was issued to prevent Deshmukh from fleeing the country. He has skipped numerous summons issued by the investigation agency. Supreme Court had refused to give him interim respite from coercive action in the lawsuit last month. The ED's case against Deshmukh and others was registered after the CBI filed a corruption case against him based on an accusation of 100 crore rupees bribe accumulated by him. Former Mumbai Police Commissioner Parambir Singh had levelled the charge. Based on a Bombay High Court ruling, the CBI lodged an FIR against Deshmukh on April 21st. Deshmukh, who resigned in April in the wake of the allegations, has repeatedly denied any misconduct.
In West Bengal, All India Trinamool Congress has announced their candidates for the bypoll to Bhawanipur Assembly constituency and election to Jangipur and Shamsherganj Assembly seats. TMC President and Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee will contest from the prestigious Bhawanipur seat. AITC leader Shovandev Chattopadhyay's resignation necessitated the bypoll at the seat as he vacated it for the party chief. Polling will take place on the 30th of this month.
You are listening to the morning news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to interact with healthcare workers and beneficiaries of COVID vaccination program in Himachal Pradesh at 11 a.m. today. President Ram Nath Kovind to present President's Colours to Indian Naval Aviation at Daboli in Goa today. Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Thakur says central government transferred 1.5 lakh crore rupees directly into bank accounts of farmers under Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi scheme. Central team to visit Bihar today to assess damage caused by the recent floods in the state. Enforcement Directorate issues lookout notice against former Maharashtra Home Minister Anil Deshmukh in money laundering case. Kerala put on high alert after death of a 12-year-old boy due to Nipah virus infection in Kozhikode. Avani Lekhara leads the Indian contingent at the closing ceremony of Tokyo Paralympics. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to host Paralympians on their return to India. In cricket, fourth test between India and England evenly poised at Oval in London. And India's head coach Ravi Shastri tests positive for coronavirus, isolated with 3 support staff. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts.
Kerala has been put under high alert after a 12-year-old boy died due to Nipah virus infection in Kozhikode yesterday. The child's funeral took place in the evening, according to protocol. 2 health workers who came in contact with the deceased were found to have symptoms of the infection. They will be shifted to a separate ward. The state government has initiated contact tracing measures. Kerala Health Minister Veena George informed that 188 people are in the contact list and 20 of them are in the high-risk category. Direction for extreme vigilance is being issued for the coming week in Kozhikode. A 24-hour special control room has also been set up in the district. Meanwhile, a central team visited the residence of the child who died from Nipah virus in Chatmangalam. Since the child was found to have eaten the rambutan fruit, the samples of the fruit were collected from his home. The team will also check about the presence of bats in the area. Over 68 crore 46 lakh COVID-19 vaccine doses have been administered in the country so far under the nationwide vaccination drive. More than 71,61,000 vaccine doses were administered on Saturday. Over 42,000 new COVID-19 cases were reported, while more than 38,000 people recovered in the last 24 hours. 308 people lost their lives during the period. The Health Ministry said COVID-19 recovery rate in the country now stands at 97.42%.
Union Health Minister Mansukh Mandaviya participated in G20 Health Ministers Meeting 2021 hosted by Italian Presidency on the theme People, Planet and Prosperity. Yesterday, during the meeting, he shared India's response to monitor global health impact of COVID-19 pandemic with a detailed assessment of its consequences in implementing sustainable development goals. Mr. Mandaviya is on a 4-day visit to Rome in Italy from 4th of this month to attend the G20 Health Ministers meeting. In a tweet, Mr. Mandaviya also said that he had an excellent discussion with Minister of Health for Brazil, Marcelo Queiroga, for better cooperation in healthcare. As our nation celebrates the 75th year of independence, a series of events is being organized by the government as a part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Let's listen now to our special program, Azadi Ka Safar.
Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav.
आजादी का सफर AIR न्यूज के संग. India's glorious fight for freedom is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of the valiant struggle every day.
In today's episode, we will talk about how the British got foothold in Maratha land, the courage of Sarat Chandra Bose, and the agony of partition.
The Maratha Empire had become the strongest opponent of the British Empire by the middle of the 18th century. Now wanted to conquer the Maratha Empire.
When the Peshwa king Madhav Rao died, Raghunath Rao sought the support of the British to be installed as Peshwa against Madhav Rao. It was on this day in the year 1774 that the British supported Peshwa Raghunath Rao to reconquer Pune.
But he was soon removed from the seat of Peshwa due to opposition by other Maratha rulers. Raghunath Rao sought help from the British again and signed the Treaty of Surat in March 1775. Via this treaty, the British promised to give Raghunath Rao military assistance in exchange for control of Salsette Island and Bassein Fort.
Later on, it was because of this Treaty of Surat that in the First Anglo-Maratha War, the Maratha forces led by Nana Fadnavis had to fight with the combined forces of the British and Raghunath Rao.
This is how the British Empire was given strength by the infighting nature of Indian royalty.
Today is also the birth anniversary of Sarat Chandra Bose. Born in 1889 at Cuttack in Odisha, he was the elder brother of Subhash Chandra Bose. He qualified as a lawyer in 1911 and went to England.
With the legendary Nripendranath Sarkar as his mentor, Sarat Chandra achieved great fame as a barrister. He began a successful legal practice upon his return to India, but later abandoned it to join the civil disobedience movement.
In a report of the then Government of India's Home Department, he was described as the power behind his brother Subhash Chandra Bose and the financier of the civil disobedience movement in Calcutta.
He established a news agency, Orient Press Agency, in 1929. In the 1940s, he started the paper, The Nation.
For some years, Sarat Chandra Bose also indulged in electoral politics and held various positions. Sarat Chandra believed that nothing which is morally wrong is politically right. This served as his guideline throughout his life.
Sarat Chandra Bose was the first to protest against the partition of Bengal and Punjab. He consistently opposed the partition, both before and after the publication of the Mountbatten Plan. It was on this issue that he resigned from Congress in January 1947 and started a protest campaign in February 1947.
Soon after India achieved her independence on 15th of August 1947, Sarat Chandra advocated the setting up of a regional organization with India, Pakistan, Nepal, Burma and Ceylon as its constituent members. He stood for the unity of Asia's southeastern nations as well.
Also, in August 1947, Sarat Chandra Bose formed the Socialist Republican Party, and in 1949, Sarat Chandra formed the United Socialist Organization that sought to bring all the socialist forces of the country on a common platform.
Sarat Chandra Bose was a true nationalist, and he continued his untiring efforts to prevent partition in various ways till the very end.
After the partition of India in 1947, approximately 15 million people migrated within a period of 4 years. To manage the situation, on this very day in the year 1947, the Government of India created a new Ministry of Rehabilitation.
The wounds of partition cannot be healed so easily. The pain is still felt. On the eve of India's Independence Day, Prime Minister Narendra Modi declared that August the 14th would now be observed as the Partition Horrors Remembrance Day.
हम आजादी का जश्न मनाते हैं, लेकिन बंटवारे का दर्द आज भी हिंदुस्तान के सीने को छलनी करता है। ये पिछली शताब्दी की सबसे बड़ी त्रासदी में से एक। विभाजन विभीषिका स्मृति दिवस का तय होना ऐसे लोगों को हर भारतवासी की तरफ से आदरपूर्वक श्रद्धांजलि है.
The majority of Indians living today were born long after India's blood-drenched partition. They must indeed remember this history. The agony of 1 million people losing their lives, of 1 million people uprooted in the largest distress displacement in human history. That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in the next episode tomorrow.
आजादी के आंदोलन के खजाने में ऐसे ढेरों शब्द जिन्होंने बदल दिए इतिहास. तारीख बदलने वाले लफ्जों पर आकाशवाणी समाचार ला रहा है विशेष कार्यक्रम धरोहर हर सोमवार.
In today's episode of Dharohar, we will bring you the rare speeches of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose from the archives of All India Radio.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will share his thoughts with the people in the country and abroad in the Mann Ki Baat program on All India Radio on the 26th of this month. It will be the 81st episode of the monthly radio program. The Prime Minister has invited people to share their ideas on topics he should address in the coming episode of the program. People can share their views in the Namo app or MyGov Open Forum. They can also dial toll-free number 1800-11-7800 and record their message for the Prime Minister in either Hindi or English. Phone lines will remain open till 24th of September. People can also give a missed call on 1922 and follow the link received in the SMS to directly give their suggestions to the Prime Minister. In Afghanistan, Taliban have claimed that they have made a headway into the Panjshir Valley. Taliban spokesman Bilal Karimi posted on Twitter that the police headquarters and the district centre of Rukhwa close to the provincial capital Bazraq have fallen. He claimed that opposition forces have suffered many casualties. However, the opposition forces under the National Resistance Front of Afghanistan, led by Ahmad Masood and Amrullah Saleh, have said that Taliban is spreading a false propaganda. Former Afghanistan Vice President Amrullah Saleh has appealed to the United Nations, asking it to mobilize their resources to end the crimes being committed by the Taliban in the war-torn country. In a letter to the United Nations, Saleh said, Panjshir, the last province in Afghanistan not controlled by the Taliban, was staring at a full-scale catastrophe which might lead to genocide of Afghans.
Indian shooter Avni Lekra led India's contingent at the closing ceremony of Tokyo Paralympics as the flag bearer. The 19-year-old shooter won gold and bronze medals at the Paralympic Games that ended yesterday. A total of 54 para-athletes from India across 9 sports disciplines participated in the event. Indian contingent finished their campaign at the Paralympic Games at an all-time high by securing a total of 19 medals, which includes 5 gold, 8 silver and 6 bronze medals. Badminton and Taekwondo made their debut in Tokyo, both of which were represented by India. Sports and Youth Affairs Minister Anurag Thakur has said that Prime Minister Narendra Modi will host the Paralympians on their return to India. Hailing the Prime Minister for devoting time with the athletes, Thakur said Mr. Modi had hosted the Olympians when they arrived in India, and now he is going to host the Paralympians as well.
Who else can motivate the players better than the Prime Minister of the country? I think the kind of time he has given before the departure of the players for the Olympics and the Paralympics, he has spoken to most of the players and their families. He has hosted the Olympians while arriving in India. Now he'll be hosting the Paralympians as well as the Prime Minister of this country.
Mr. Thakur said Modi always had a vision for sports, including the specially abled athletes. Mr. Thakur also urged all the sports federations to formulate big plans for 2024 and 2028 Olympics so that India improves its position further. The 4th cricket test between India and England is evenly poised at Oval in London. At the end of the 4th day yesterday, England was 77 for no loss. India have set a target of 368 runs for the hosts to win the test match. Earlier, India were all out for 466 in their second innings, taking a lead of 367 runs. Rohit Sharma with 127 runs was the top scorer in the second innings. Indian head coach Ravi Shastri has tested positive for coronavirus and was isolated along with 3 of his close contacts, including team's bowling coach Bharat Arun, as a precautionary measure. Shastri returned a positive result on a lateral flow test rapid antigen test and will stay in isolation till the RT-PCR test reports come. There is no threat to the ongoing 4th test against England, as all the other playing members have tested negative in 2 lateral flow tests conducted.
And now let's take a look at the weather forecast for today. Jammu is mainly to have a clear sky that will become partly cloudy towards the evening or night. The temperature will hover between 25 and 34 degrees Celsius. Srinagar will also have a mainly clear sky becoming partly cloudy towards the evening. Temperature will hover between 16 and 31 degrees Celsius. Leh will have a mainly clear sky. Temperature will vary between 10 and 27 degrees Celsius. Gilgit is likely to witness a mainly clear sky as well. The temperature will hover between 15 and 38 degrees Celsius. Muzaffarabad is likely to witness a mainly clear sky. Temperature will hover between 19 and 36 degrees Celsius. National capital Delhi will have a generally cloudy sky with light rain or drizzle. The minimum temperature was 27, while maximum will be around 35 degrees Celsius. Mumbai will have a generally cloudy sky with heavy rain. Temperature will hover between 25 and 30 degrees Celsius. Chennai is likely to have a generally cloudy sky with light rain. Temperature will vary between 25 and 33 degrees Celsius. Kolkata will have a partly cloudy sky with possibility of moderate rain or thunderstorm. Temperature in the city will hover between 28 and 35 degrees Celsius.
And now an overview of today's newspapers. Developments in Afghanistan continue to dominate the headlines across dailies today. Civil war threat looms as fighting rages in Afghanistan, writes Hindustan Times. The Times of India reports Mullah Baradar injured in clashes with Haqqani network. As China tightens grip, Lanka looks to boost defense ties with India, says the Times of India. With the country still fighting the COVID pandemic, a Kerala boy dying of Nipah virus sends the alarm bells ringing. Hindustan Times notes, Nipah scare resurfaces as 12-year-old boy dies in Kerala, contact tracing on. The Hindu writes, 12-year-old dies as Nipah reappears in Kozhikode, adding, 2 health workers symptomatic, 188 contact isolated. And finally, papers have noticed India's stellar performance at the Paralympics on the penultimate day. The Pioneer headlines, golden finish, Krishna bags gold, Suhas secures silver as India sign off with 19 medals.
Before we end the bulletin, a reminder of today's question of the Amrit Mahotsav quiz. Which freedom fighter gave the call, Dilli Chalo? WhatsApp your response on 8826 546262. I repeat, 8826 546262, or through email on amritmahotsavquiz@gmail.com. I repeat, amritmahotsavquiz@gmail.com. Celebrate 75 years of India's independence by participating in Amrit Mahotsav quiz with AIR News. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Modi to interact with healthcare workers and beneficiaries of COVID vaccination drive in Himachal Pradesh at 11 a.m. today. President Ramnath Kovind to present President's Colour to Indian Naval Aviation at Daburi in Goa today. Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Thakur says central government transferred 1.5 lakh crore rupees directly into bank accounts of farmers under Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi scheme. Central team to visit Bihar today to assess damages caused by the recent floods in the state. Enforcement Directorate issues lookout notice against former Maharashtra Home Minister Anil Deshmukh in money laundering case. Kerala put on high alert after death of a 12-year-old boy due to Nipah virus infection in Kozhikode. Avni Lekra leads Indian contingent at closing ceremony of Tokyo Paralympics. Prime Minister Modi to host Paralympians on their return to India. In cricket, 4th test between India and England evenly poised at Oval in London. And India's head coach Ravi Shastri tests positive for COVID, isolated with 3 support staff. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a great day.